Welcome to the Steve Ames Show with guitarist Sandy Renda, pianist Mike Iannuzzi, and my special guest, entertainer Pete Lorenzo. And now, on with the show. We're in the money. We're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the money. The skies are sunny. Old man depression, you are through. You've done us wrong. We never see a headline about a bread line today. And when we see the landlord, we can look that guy right in the eye. We're in the money. The skies are sunny. Let's spend it, lend it, send it, rolling along. We're in the money. We're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the money. The skies are sunny. Old man depression, you are through. You've done us wrong. We never see a headline about a bread line today. And when we see the landlord, we can look that guy right in the eye. We're in the money. Come on, my honey. Let's spend it, lend it, send it, rolling along. Thank you. We're in the Money, written by Harry Warren and Al Dubin for the Warner Brothers film Gold Diggers of 1933. And right now, here are the two mighty musicians. At the guitar, Sandy Renda. And at the piano, Mike Iannuzzi. We're opening our show tonight with songs written by composer Harry Warren and lyricist Al Dubin. Warren and Dubin were the most prolific songwriting team at the Warner Brothers studios during the golden age of Hollywood. Here's a song they wrote for the Warner Brothers film Ames, introduced by Dick Powell when he sang it to Ruby Keeler in a Busby Berkeley production number. Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright, 'cause I only have eyes for you, dear. The moon may be high, but I can't see a thing in the sky, 'cause I only have eyes for you. I don't know if we're in a garden or on a crowded avenue. You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from view. And I only have eyes for you. I don't care if we're in a garden or on a crowded avenue. You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from view. And I only have eyes for you. Thank you, Sandy.
Hey.
Thank you, Mike.
Steve.
Thank you for helping me perform the songs of Harry Warren and Al Dubin. You know, I was very happy recently to go to the post office and see a stamp honoring one of my favorite entertainers, Danny Thomas. And this would have been Danny Thomas' centennial because Danny was born on January 6th, 1912 in Deerfield, Michigan. And his real name was not Danny Thomas. His real name was Amos Jacobs.
He was Italian.
No, he was not Italian. He was of Lebanese descent.
Right.
And Danny got his show business start in burlesque as a young boy and then playing the nightclub circuit in Chicago. And he made a very big hit at the 5100 Club in Chicago. And this is where all of Danny's unique style originated. His unique style, because he was different than other comedians. He wasn't a one-liner guy, and he wasn't with the fast jokes. He took his time to tell a story, and nobody did that better than Danny Thomas. So after a few years at the 5100 Club in Chicago, he was discovered by Abe Lastfogel of the William Morris Agency, who brought Danny over to La Martinique in New York City. And then Danny even scored a bigger hit, and soon Danny was on the radio. He was an actor on the radio in the 1940s, playing on the Baby Snooks show with Fanny Brice, and on the Bickerson show with Francis Langford and Don Amici. And then Louis B. Mayer of MGM discovered Danny for films. And Louis B. Mayer wanted Danny to have his nose fixed, made smaller. But Danny Thomas refused to do that. He said, I'm born with this nose, and this is my nose. So Danny did appear in a few MGM films with Margaret O'Brien, and then he went over to Warner Brothers with his real nose, and he made two very good films, I'll See You in My Dreams, co-starring Doris Day, where Danny played songwriter Gus Kahn, and the other film was a remake of Al Jolson's The Jazz Singer, which was also quite a hit. But it took television to make Danny Thomas a superstar. In 1953, he began The Danny Thomas Show, also known as Make Room for Daddy, and phenomenal success. The show was high rated for its entire 11-year run and won many Emmys and made Danny Thomas a household name. Mike, any memories of watching The Danny Thomas Show?
You know, I remember looking at I can't remember, Veronica Cartwright was
Angela Cartwright.
It was Angela Cartwright, the sister. Yeah, that was.
And who was your favorite character on the Danny Thomas Show?
Oh, without a doubt, Uncle Tanous.
Played by Hans Conried.
Yeah, absolutely.
That great character actor.
Definitely.
He was wonderful.
Yep.
Yes. So you enjoyed the Danny Thomas Show.
I did.
He was very funny. And Danny was also a producer in television.
Right.
And he and Sheldon Leonard, the actor, got together and they produced shows like The Dick Van Dyke Show, The Andy Griffith Show, and I Spy. But for all Danny Thomas' great success in show business, what he was proudest of were his humanitarian efforts. And in 1962, he founded St. Jude's Research Hospital, which just celebrated their 50th anniversary at the same time that Danny would have been 100 years old. So I thought it would be nice to remember Danny Thomas tonight and celebrate his centennial. And Sandy, what song do you have for this special occasion?
Well, appropriately, we're going to do Danny Boy,
which was used as the theme song for the Danny Thomas Show for many years.
That's right. They did it a swing version.
That's correct.
Right.
Well,
I remember, right? Yeah.
But you're going to do the traditional ballad version, right?
Yes.
So here are Sandy and Mike with Danny Boy. My guest this evening first appeared on the Steve Ames Show back in 1992, exactly 20 years ago this spring. Of course, he's been on many times since then, and it's always fun when he visits us. So here he is now, comedian, impressionist, and entertainer, Pete Lorenzo.
Thank you. Well, Steve, it's always indeed a pleasure to be on your show and with your fine musicians. And what we're going to do, because we both love trivia, is take you back, and there's St. Paddy's Day we just celebrated, and 40th anniversary of The Godfather, a classic film. So I'd like to do some nostalgic stuff, throw in a little humor. So we'll start off with Mr. Marlon Brando. We all remember Marlon Brando, The Godfather. And this is a segment most people like in my show. I kind of work it in.
I don't want his mother to see him like this. Do you know if my boy Sonny had easy pass, he'd be alive today.
Jimmy Cagney, perfect would be a great Irishman to do a little takeoff on Viagra. We're talking about Viagra. I threw it in the toilet, now I can't close the lid. The other day I gave it to me Irish setters. And now the dog's a pointer. But I don't need that. You dirty rat, get it out of my house. Little Jimmy Cagney. I know one of your favorites, and I had the honor of working with this gentleman, Mr. Rodney Dangerfield. He was just a genius like Henny Youngman and so many others, but he was a genius in his right. And it was truly a Kodak moment when he called me up on stage and we did Dueling Rodneys at Dangerfield's in New York. A little bit of Rodney. Hey, I'll tell you, it ain't easy. I got no respect, Hey, you know how dumb my wife was? How dumb? She was so dumb it took her an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes. I'll tell you, it ain't easy. Hey, she was fat. Do you know how fat she was? She had on a Malcolm X jacket and a helicopter landed on her butt. I'll tell you, it's nuts, Hey, I always wondered, I like to get a little theological, And I wondered, how come it looks like when a frisbee's coming towards you, it gets larger as it gets closer to your head. And then one day it hit me. I'll tell you, I don't know respect, It ain't easy. All right, a little bit of Rodney there, There we go. We have to, thank you. We have to do a tribute to a gentleman that I know the world loved. We all loved him, and I was doing a show in Wappinger Falls High School Auditorium one time. It was a big concert, and it was unbeknown to me that after the concert, every time when I did Peter Falk, the audience was going insane. I said, wow, they're really big Peter Falk fans. And after the show, the principal of the school walked me over to his office, opened up the office, and showed me a picture hanging on the wall that Peter Falk actually graduated from that very stage I was working on. I was like, wow. So that's a little bit of trivia there. And the man who we watched on the Sunday night movies all the time, Lieutenant Columbo. It's nuts. Steve, we were on the parkway coming down here, and the cop pulled me over. He said he clocked us doing 90. I said, officer, don't you know who I am? I'm Lieutenant Columbo. He says, I don't care who you are. Don't you watch the speedometer? I said, officer, what are you, crazy? I got one eye. You want me to keep it on the road or on the speedometer? Just once, Cindy, I want to go on that show and say, hey, Pat, on that show Wheel of Fortune, I want to go, hey, Pat, can I buy an eye? It's crazy. They made a movie about my ex-wife. It was called Romancing the Stone. I tell you, it's unbelievable. Anyway, I want to thank you for all the wonderful years that you watched my show. And, from the heart, from my heart to yours, take the love and spread it and pass it on. Thank you very much. Oh, just one more thing. That was the signature line, Mr. Peter Falk, yeah. Of course, my favorite, who was based on my Grandpa Giordano, from Palermo, Sicily. And what I did when I was in high school, and it just took off, and then it was first original character I did on national TV. And I'd like to do a little bit of Uncle Giuseppe for you. It's a character I created, kind of a little reminiscent of my grandpa. Hey, like this. When I come to this country, Everybody told me, when I go to New York, be careful, you know, sometimes you get some shady people who bats and they go, it's crazy in the head. He said, when anyone, when you walk down the street, anybody say anything to you, just to say no. So I walk down the street, and these 3 guys, hoodlum, you know, come up to me. And they say, hey, give me all your money. I say no, and they beat the living daylights out of me. So next day, my friend Bon Giovanni said, what happened to you? I told him, he says, you got to change your plans, you know. He said, what you got to do is from now on, just agree with him. So the next day, I walk down the street, and I go on the other side to figure maybe stay away from where those guys were. You know, I cross the street, and the same guys, they come up on that side of the street, they come up to me, and they say, hey, you want some more? I say, yeah. And they give it to me again. What are you going to do? But you know, my friend, Bon Giovanni, he bring home one day to the apartment, bring home a goat. And the goat, the landlord, he see the goat, he say, hey, well, father, you can't have a goat over here. You got to get rid of it. You can't have it over here. And Bon Giovanni said, well, what am I going to do? He says, I don't care. You can't have it here. Take it to the zoo. So a week go by, the landlord he come back, he doing some stuff around the apartment, and Bon Giovanni, he got the goat there again, you know. And the landlord, he get really mad. He say, hey, I told you, you can't have this goat here. Why you got the goat? I come back, you got the goat. Come on. I told you, take it to the zoo. He said, I did. And now the pain in the butt, she want to go to a movie and dinner, too. Yeah. A little bit Uncle Giuseppe, yeah.
Pete Lorenzo, my good friend.
Steve, it's always an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. Your 20th anniversary of appearing on my show. Isn't that
you know,
great?
when you mentioned that, I was remember it was. I was thinking like late '80s or early '90s, and boy,
right.
'92.
In Montclair, New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
Where
days,
did those 20 years go?
We had Marvin Lewis on the piano,
Yeah,
but we always had Jerry Schoenthal on the camera.
Jerry,
Let's hear it for
yeah.
Jerry behind the
Yeah.
camera.
Jerry's the man.
Now, I understand that you did some great imitations tonight of
Thank
a lot
you.
of our favorites, but 2 of our favorites had birthdays recently, and they're both about the same age. Jerry Lewis had a birthday.
Jerry Lewis, right here from Irvington, New
Let's
Jersey.
hear a little Jerry Lewis.
Oh, hey, this man is you and Joe Franklin are like kings of trivia, memorabilia. He's walking in the cycle. Oh, hey, fly living. Oh, yo, lady.
And the other birthday in March, our good friend Joe Franklin
Joe
had a birthday.
Franklin,
Did you
God
do a little
bless him.
Joe Franklin?
Oh yeah, well, I owe so much to that man because it was the very beginning of my career. He discovered me and he believed in me and put me on his show so many times.
And he is the inventor of the talk show.
Oh yeah,
he is the original
he's
talk
in Guinness
show
World Book of
pioneer.
Records.
He
and,
did the very first talk
the very
show and the
first-
longest talk show, 43
very first
years.
Concept of what we know today.
Absolutely.
Is the talk
Now,
show, variety
there's a
show.
new type of TV show today called the reality show,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand you've got some news about that.
Yeah, Joe would have to introduce that. Right when he used to do the commercials about Martin. We'll be right back. Big surprise is about to come up right here after a word from Martin Paints.
Right, and Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
Yeah.
But tell us about this show that you're doing now that's a reality show.
Yeah, you know, there's so many reality shows these days, as you know, and I was kind of a little skeptical about doing them because, you know, most of them, not to knock them or anything, there's a genre for everything, but I feel like most of them are corny, scripted out, you know, this and that. And when I was approached by the 2 gentlemen, one of them I know for 15 years, is very, very great editor, great concepts, and good writer. So he says, you know, we want to do a reality show. We want to do it on you. And I was like, no, I'm not going to, you know. And he was like, well, he says, this would be great because it would probably complement your film, too. Because what we want to do is just do the real you. So I says, well, if we keep it real, no script, nothing scripted out, whatever you get is the real. So they were in my office with cameras rolling while I'm on the phone, while I'm going through the mechanics of a business day, going to the corner store, my lady and I, Rochelle, walking the dogs, whatever. And, you know, they got, and what I said to them in my head, I'm thinking, well, who would want to tune in and watch a Pete DiLorenzo reality show? But what is interesting about it is they're showing the reality of what goes on in our industry.
Backstage.
The highs, the lows, the ups, the downs. Yeah, backstage, off the stage, in the office, the real deal. And it's educational to people, and it's inspiring to, you know, aspiring artists, and inspirational, and humor in there. I mean, there's a little bit of everything.
And if people want to see this eventually, where can they go to find out
Well,
about
it's to my knowledge, the producers are doing the fine-tuning and editing, and it's on its way to Hollywood. They have people interested in it next week. So from our lips to God's ears, and if this gets picked up, it will be on national major cable
Now, if they
network.
go to your website, can they get information on
Yeah,
that?
my website is just my name, www.PeteDiLorenzo.com.
One more time.
www.Pete, short for Peter, P-E-T-E, DiLorenzo, DeLorenzo.com. Or they can go on Facebook, because the two producers started an actual page. And if you go in the search bar on the top, just type in O-H, comma, for Pete's sake.
For Pete's Sake
Yeah.
is the name
That's
of the
gonna
show.
be the title of the show.
For Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
O-H.
O-H, comma, and then for, F-O-R, Pete's, P-E-T-E-S, P-E-T-E apostrophe S, and then S-A-K-E. Oh, for Pete's sake. If you type that in, it'll bring you to the page that they set up. And people are clicking like on the page, because the more likes we get, that's good for the producers. And that you're free to leave comments, and you will have updates as to what's going on. And there's going to be a premiere, and you have to come out to the premiere. all of you.
Definitely,
Come out to the
definitely.
premiere,
And how is your movie coming along, The Mentor?
Thank you for asking. That is, it's been a long labor of love. Going on this June, it'll be 15 years. And I was like thinking, that's a long time. And then I just heard George Lucas doing the Red Tail movie that he did about the pilots during World War II. And he's been researching and doing that for like 15, 20 some odd years.
So good things are worth waiting for.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese, 25 years to do Gangs
That's
of New York.
right.
So I said, I'm the new kid on the block as
That's
a
right.
producer and screenwriter.
Now,
so.
let's hear it from my very good friend, Pete DiLorenzo.
Thank you, Steve.
Danny Thomas and Al Jolson had something in common. They both starred in movie versions of The Jazz Singer for Warner Brothers. Danny Thomas starred in the remake in 1953, and of course Al Jolson starred in the original movie version, which became the legendary First Talkie in 1927. So that puts me in the mood to sing an Al Jolson song. Jolson was known as a Mammy singer, and here is the greatest of Mammy songs. Mammy, Mammy, the sun shines east, the sun shines west, but I know where the sun shines best. Mammy, Mammy, my heartstrings are tangled around Alabama. I'm coming. Sorry that I made you wait. I'm coming. I hope and trust I'm not too late. Oh, Mammy, oh, my little Mammy, I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles, my Mammy. Oh, Mammy, oh, my little Mammy. The sun shines east, the sun shines west, but I know where the sun shines best. Mammy, oh, my little Mammy, my heartstrings are tangled around Alabama. I'm coming. I'm sorry that I made you wait. I'm coming. I hope and pray I'm not too late. Oh, Mammy, oh, my little Mammy, I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles, my Mammy. Well, when you sing one Jolson song, you've got to sing another. So we close our show with another Jolson standard, Toot Toot Tootsie Goodbye. Toot Toot Tootsie Goodbye. Toot Toot Tootsie, don't cry. the choo-choo train that takes me away from you. You don't know just how sad it makes me. Kiss me, Tootsie, and then do it over again. Just watch for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Ha ha ha, Tootsie, don't cry. Tootsie, goodbye.